Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Fifth time's a charm. I'm having some technical difficulties. For some reason, it wants to focus on my books and not on me, and I'm not sure why that is. So if you see me looking over there more than usual, I apologize ahead of time because it's kind of driving me a little bit nuts because it keeps going in and out of focus and I don't know why. So I'm here to start my Unhaul project. This is kind of like a trim down my TBR. So I posted a video today about how outrageously big my TBR has been getting and I wanted to get it under control. So I have things like a TBR jar and a book buying ban, but part of that is I want to start clearing out the books that I'm no longer in love with. So it's like that Marie Kondo. I mean, we're not going to go 30 books. That's just not going to happen. But I'm going to try to take the books that I either don't know if I'm going to love or if they no longer bring me joy. So for instance, Lola and the Boy Next Door. I read Anna and the French Kiss years ago and I didn't notice all the problems that the book had when I read it because I read it a long time ago and I'm a much more, I don't want to say stingy reader, I'm just more aware reader than I ever was before. I didn't even notice there was cheating in the book, or I don't remember noticing there was cheating in the book. So I'm a little iffy on if I want to read the sequels or not, if they're any good, if they're worth keeping. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through and pick books like this off my shelves that I'm not sure if I want to keep anymore and make a collection of them. And so me and my friend Chris are doing the same thing, and her collection is pretty huge. Her collection is pretty much anything that's YA because she just is not in the YA place anymore. Her brain has shifted. It's like she hit 30 and said, you know what? I think I'm done with anything YA, with a few exceptions. Me, I am not like that. I still love the YA. But I am getting a little bit more particular about the kind that I read. There's things like Casey West, who are the cute, squishy romances that I absolutely adore, and I do not foresee disliking any of her books. But books like this that I've heard questionable things about, I think it might be a good idea to give them a little bit of a try and then possibly let them go. I'm going to be DNFing any books I read along the way. One of the books I just bought recently, it was in my last haul, I DNF'd. I got about 100 pages into it and it disturbed me and not in a good way. So it is going into, it's got DNF'd and it's going to be unhauled. And I will show that to you guys in my wrap up at the end of the month in about a week, because I think the end of the month's about a week from now. Actually, I know it's about a week from now. So in about a week, I will film another video, and that one will have my DNF in it. There's other books on my shelves that I'm just not sure I want to read. Some of them I've gotten in book boxes. Some of them I've had for ages. There is the Thirst series by, last name's Pike. I have to go look at it. It's already in the pile, but I've had it for years and years and years and years. And I bought it discounted at like Books A Million or something like 5 or 6 years ago. And I keep looking at it, but I haven't actually read it. This is my chance to find the hidden books that I've been putting off for years and getting rid of books that just aren't made for me. So this is your little intro. You're gonna get an entire little series of this. I will do reactions. I'll let you know how things are going, what's getting DNF'd, what is just straight going into the unhaul. So when I go through my red stuff and decide to pull out some things, which I have not done yet, but when I do those, I will take you along with me. I will show you everything that's gonna be going on. And at the end of the whatever, however long it takes me to fill a box, I will do an unhaul. But it could take me a couple of months to get a box full. We are hoping to do like one a week or so. Her first book was, I don't remember what it was called. It was one I don't have, Fire by Trial or something, and she DNF'd it right away. And then the second book that she did with was Legend, and she loved it. I told her she was gonna love Legend, and she didn't totally trust me, but she read it and she loved it. So she's keeping Legend, and now she's on the Red Queen. And she wants me to do the Red Queen with her, even though the Red Queen wouldn't be on my stack, because I am excited to read that. I am going to read it with her anyways. well, that's the theory, but I've been kind of in a little bit of a mild slump lately because I've been not picking up the best books this month. And the books that I want to read, I do not have. I ordered some books like a month ago and they're trashy little romance and they have not come in yet. So I'm in a little bit of a slump because I want a trashy romance and I do not have any. So, yeah, I'm going to just take you guys along with me and show you some of the stuff that I'm picking out. And I will show you my pile. It's getting quite large. But I thought this would be like a nice little intro to my little series, and I will find a good title for this, like the Unhaul project or something, or the thinning TBR project, or I have no idea what I'm gonna call this thing yet. But once I think of a name for it, I will definitely give you guys updates. I'll number them all so that they're easier to find. And hopefully with you guys' help, I can start making my way through these piles. If you see something that I'm thinking about unhauling and you're like, oh, try this, it's gonna be really good, or if there's a book that you're like, oh, don't even worry about it, just get rid of it. Let me know those things because I do want to make this as seamless as possible. So yeah, here's a book for the pile. And I will show you the pile soon. Probably in this video. I'm not sure, my brain is a little all over the place. It's storming outside, so we don't have a lot to do, and I've been reading and I can't concentrate on my book because I'm thinking about this pile in this video that I wanted to film. So hopefully by making a dent in the pile, I can read again. It'd be amazing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and I'll keep you guys updated. All right guys, so I have gone through all my bookshelves and I think I've got everything pretty much sorted. There's a few books I didn't go through. I didn't go through the ones that are downstairs. So there might be a few more, but I'll just kind of give you, I'll show you the pile. I'm not going through all the books because there's too many books in this pile to go through all of them. But I will definitely show you the pile and I will show you the book that we're starting with. I'm starting with because Chris has already been doing this for a little while. And she's one of my big reading buddies. I've got 3 of them and she's my 4 of them. I've got a few of them, and she's my biggest. We read all the time together, and so the book that we're reading wasn't originally on my list, but it's kind of on my list now because she asked me to read it with her. So don't mind the mess. My suitcase that is still sitting here from over the summer. This is my pile. So I have 3 piles that go about knee-high. There is a lot of books here. I have old books in here. I have middle grade or books I got in subscription boxes or I bought a long time ago and just not sure about. Not one of these books do I know for sure I'm not gonna like. So I have every intention of trying them all out and seeing how I feel about them because I don't want to judge a book simply because I haven't read it yet or because it's been on my TBR for a long time, but I'm going to make a point to try these books. If I do not like them, I will DNF them. If I do not like them, I will do unhauls for them. But I want to try to make some strides in getting through these books on my shelves. And so these are the ones that I'm least sure about. Like I have You by Carolyn Kipnis in here. And the reason that's in the pile is because my son started reading it and told me that he thinks I'll hate it. Is he right? I don't know. I've got a bunch of middle grade in here because I'm just more leery of middle grade than I am of other stuff. Not because it's bad, but because I'm just not really big on most middle grade. Some middle grade I love. I'm a little more leery about it. So it's in the pile because it's books that I keep putting off that I don't know if I would have read otherwise. And the rest of them I have the Need series in here, which I've had for 7, 8, I don't know how many years, however long it's been published pretty much. And then I have a couple other series the same way that I've had forever and ever, and I just don't know if I'm ever get to them. So I will work my way through them slowly, and I will show them to you as we go along. I just don't want to right now. If I change my mind and decide to show them all to you, I will let you guys know. But the book that Chris wants to read right now, because it's the one on top of her list, I'm going out of frame, sorry guys, is The Red Queen. So The Red Queen is the first book that we are starting with. I've only read a chapter of it. She's read 7. I still have other books I want to read because I am almost halfway through The Crooked Kingdom and I want to finish the duology. Plus, I almost always read trashy romance before I go to bed. So for right now, I'm going to read The Red Queen before I go to bed. But I also have an audiobook. So I've got 3 books I'm actively working on right now, and they're all fantasy. One's urban fantasy and 2 are high fantasy. But either way, they're all fantasy. And so I definitely need a little bit of break in here somewhere. Hopefully I'll be able to finish Lord of Shadows today because I've only got like an hour left of it. And then as far as Crooked Kingdom goes, I just want to finish it soon because I'm really liking it, but I'm only reading it at work and I only get to read like 30 pages a day while I'm at work. But the chapter that I read of Red Queen last night went really fast. So I will keep you guys updated on how I feel about Red Queen, and this video will probably just be the intro and then Red Queen. And then we will move on and do something else. I'll do 1 or 2 books per video, and you'll get to see all of my thoughts on the enormous pile sitting over there. And I'll show you more as I go through it. Like if I'm trying to decide what to do next, like if it's my turn to pick the next book, which me and Chris are probably gonna end up doing that. We'll probably take turns picking books. If she doesn't have a book that I need, I'll read a book that she doesn't have or something. And so when I go to pick my books, I'll take you with me to pick books. But you will see this pile, I promise. I just can't do it right now. But that's it for right now. I will let you know more when I know more. Ooh, I'm all blurry. Why am I blurry? All right, but anyways, I'll let you know more as I know more, and I'll talk to you guys later soon. I'll talk to you guys again soon. I don't know. Goodbye. Hi guys. So I wanted to give you guys updates. I wanted this to be kind of like an interactive follow along as I read this book and give you my opinions of it as I go along. But guess what? Everybody in my house got sick. So, well, not everybody. I was feeling off for a couple of days. My son's been sick for over a week. My other son has just been super tired, and my daughter's been kind of sick. My husband's been kind of sick. So we just have varying degrees of the worst being my oldest, who was sick for a week, and it's still not all the way better. And best being my other son, who is just super tired. But I've been reading The Red Queen because this was our first pick for this Unhaul challenge. So The Red Queen was never in my Unhaul pile. It was in Chris's Unhaul pile. But I figured I would give it a shot because she wanted someone to read it with. And so we're doing the Unhaul challenge kind of together. So we'll get to a spot where when we both have books that we need to read without each other, that I don't have or she doesn't have, and those ones we will definitely do on our own. But as long as we have the books, we're both gonna read them together. I'm picking the next one, and this is one that she picked, like I said, The Red Queen. And I am on page 302, which is chapter 24. And we both like it. She just finished it today, and I'm a little bit behind because I got sucked into a romance hole. I read one of the arcs that I have gotten. It's called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's about this, it's funny, it's cute. I liked it a lot. I will put the name of it for you guys on here. And I do have a Goodreads review up for it, and it comes out in April. And of course you'll see it during my wrap up. But anyways, back to this book. So I'm definitely getting, at the beginning, got a lot of Cinderella vibes. So Cinderella was that poor laborer that ended up marrying a prince, and we have Mare, who is a red. So if you don't know much about this book, I'm making no sense whatsoever. My brain has stopped functioning for the day. I don't know why I'm even trying to record this, but I am. So it's about this society, like dystopian-ish society, where you have the reds versus the silvers. Silvers have silver blood and they have magical powers. Reds have red blood and no powers. And then we have Mare, who was destined to go off to war because of her red blood, and she was basically a thief before she was leaving, and they call it conscripting. Once they basically they're getting thrown into war. And if you don't have a job, you don't have an apprenticeship, you don't have a use to the silvers, you go to war for the silvers. And that's just kind of their rule, their law, their thing. And Mare, out of pure dumb luck, gets a job at the palace, and through a bunch of little things that happen, basically there's a, I don't know what you call it. My son totally understood. I tried explaining it to him and he's like, oh, that's a queen thing. I don't know. Basically there's a competition to see who's going to be the next queen. The king and queen have 2 sons, an older one who's 21-ish, and then they have a 17-year-old who's, there's too much politics in this book. How do I explain this? So the king and queen have 2 sons, and the oldest son needs a wife because they want to groom her to be queen. And so they have like this queen competition where it's like a beauty show, but it's basically all talent. Yes, they're looking at the pretty, but mostly they're looking at the powers. They want the most powerful queen for their prince to be king and queen. Get it? Yeah, okay. And during this competition, by accident, Mare, the lead character, gets basically thrown to the wolves. And they find out because she's scared that she has, because she's scared in circumstances I don't want to say because I don't want to give too much away about how this all happens. So I think watching it go down is part of the fun of it. And so through all this crap, they figure out that she's got powers. And so she's a red with powers and everyone's starting to freak out. And of course, the king and queen take matters into their own hands. And next thing she knows, she is engaged to the younger prince. But of course, there's turmoil in this world. Anytime you have a world where you have the super rich and privileged versus the really, really down and out poor, you're gonna have a rebellion. It's the way it is. You start reading a book and you have a class that is living in slums, like one class is living in slums and all the other class is rich, you're gonna have a rebellion. There is no 2 ways about it. And that's what happens with this, is you have the reds who are in the slums, all of them, or they're getting thrown into war, or they're servants, or whatever. It's not ideal. And then you have the silvers who are the kings, the queens, the high nobles, all that kind of stuff. You're going to have issues. That's where civil wars come from. That's where rebellions come from. It's if you know anything about history, it's right there. So that's what the book is about. I hope I made some sort of coherent sense, or I was able to edit it so it sounds like I made sense. But either way, I'm really enjoying it. Chris's biggest complaint was that she didn't like the voice of Mare. She doesn't like the fact that she's a cocky little crap head on the outside, but inside she's an insecure little fool. Well, my comment is that that's a teenager. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way teenagers are. Teenagers show one side and they are very insecure on the inside. And I even said to my daughter, and she's like, okay. I was like, I'm around teenagers all the time and they don't want you to see they're insecure. They want you to see that they're an adult and they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing, but they are constantly worried about it. And she said that it really bothered her to have this side of Mare. And what I was trying to explain was that's literally how teenagers work. And she must have forgotten what it was like to be a teenager. Please don't mind my background. I'm trying to keep it blurry because I've got a big pile of clean clothes over there and my unmade bed over there. Like I said, we've been sick. We've been washing clothes. We have not been putting them away. And what am I doing? I'm reading. Okay. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm less than 100 pages from the end. I am very much enjoying it. I will let you know more when I finish, and hopefully I can make some coherent sense out of this, clip so you can see how this unhaul process goes. The next pick is mine. So after we end this one and I have a final verdict on the Red Queen, then I will let you guys know. Chris has finished it. Her final verdict is positive. She's liked it a lot. She actually likes it more now because she's been studying politics than she did the first time she read it, because there is still a lot of politics in this book, but not so much so that you can't understand it. I understand it all, and I'm not, a political science major. I'll let you guys know. Hi guys, so I'm here to finish off this Unhaul challenge number 1. And the book that I've been reading with Chris is The Red Queen, and I really liked it. I saw something coming and I was worried about certain characters. Is this person for real? Is this person for real? Or do we like this one? Do we not like this one? I did that quite a bit. But, how do I say this? The ending was not a total shock because I kind of had a feeling something was coming. And I was kind of curious about certain characters, but I didn't see it coming the way it did. So even though I wasn't surprised completely by what happened, I was surprised by how it played out. Does that make sense? So I liked it a lot. I gave it 4 stars. It was a lot of fun. I have heard mixed things about the rest of the series. I heard that book 1 and 2 were great, and then 3 and 4 are So we'll see what happens with the rest of the series. But Chris finished it as well. She also gave it 4. She also liked it, and it got saved from her unhauls. And I thought that was kind of a success. This was supposed to be my pick, but her collection doesn't have any of the same books that mine does. So the books in her collection I've either read or are not in my unhaul pile. So for this particular one, I picked a book off of her unhaul pile that was an iffy book for me because I've had it on my shelves for so long. Not that I didn't like it, but just that it's been on there for a while. And so I picked, yeah, that's the book I picked. I picked a book that has been on my shelves for a while, but I wasn't necessarily thinking about unhauling. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm gonna have to do another one without her because I need to make a dent in my pile, not just her pile. So what we'll probably do is for the next round, I'll probably pick up a book by myself and she'll probably pick a book by herself. So that way we can actually make some headway on our piles. The only problem is that she only reads the first book in the series and then pulls the entire book off the unhaul pile, which I don't want to do. So she may have to do a couple of rounds without me so I can read series that we've been starting. Anyways, the book that I picked out of her pile was The School of Good and Evil. This is a middle grade book about these 2 sisters. I think they're sisters. And one's destined for the good school and one is destined for the bad school. And they are wrong about which school they're supposed to get. They were expecting to get certain schools and they swapped. So that's next on my pile. So I'm going to end the little reaction unhaul challenge number 1 here with a success that it is being kept, at least for the moment, until I get farther into the series. And if I really hate the series, I may get rid of it still, but I doubt it. That's usually, I really doubt it. If I liked it that much, it's gonna really have to tank for me not to like it. But one of my friends said that it did, so let me know what you guys think. For those of you who read the Red Queen series, I've heard 1 and 2 are great and 3 and 4 suck. So let me know what you guys think. And I will start another unhaul challenge when I start the book, so probably tomorrow. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.